hunt?
Well, like I said, there were some birds out in the field, and we kind of scared some of them. And then this Jake ended up coming back in between them, and as you see in the slow motion shot there, they actually both got a shot. So it was nice that Grandpa and Dad were both kind of partners on shooting the bird. And
so it's important, at least in the Laughlin family, who actually got him.
Well, I give it to Grandpa. But otherwise, it was a great hunt. And it's just one that I'll never forget, because as you could hear my grandpa's voice, his ALS was getting a little worse. And
how far into his? You said you lived with it for 5 years. How long into it is this clip? Do you remember?
It's approximately between year 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. You said, do you have a story that you wanted to share? We wanted to, or no? Did you have a story? Because we heard about falling in the water from Gansky here. Do you have a story you want to share?
What I'd like to share is, I remember when I was real little, Grandpa would take me driving around in his truck hunting. He was the first one to shoot a shotgun with him. I shot a 12-gauge shotgun with him when I was real small and got a bruise on my shoulder. And just thankful to have him in my life, because my dad was kind of a fisherman, but Grandpa kind of taught me the ropes around hunting. And I guess there's not one story in particular, but I remember him when I was real young all the way to these turkey hunts that we're able to share now. So it's good to have him part of our family and show us kind of the ropes on what to do.
Yep. So. There's always somebody there too to know whether, like I said before, whether you got something small or big. He was always having a party. Hey, let's call up everybody. Let's have a party.
Yeah.
You said he gave you a 12 gauge when you were real young. I was thinking, you're lucky he wasn't my grandpa. My grandpa would have gave you a 10 gauge.
Oh.
Just blowing you away. Yeah. What's this last clip we're going to see?
Now, this last one, this is the last hunt that he went on as far as turkey hunting in his life. And what happened was, my dad took him the day before, and they had called in these 4 big toms. And they got him within like 20 yards, but my grandpa had missed. And, my grandpa was way down in the dumps, and my dad couldn't go the next day for some reason. So I called him up that night, and I said, hey, I'll pick you up in the morning, and we'll head out to a spot. I haven't looked for birds, but we'll see if they're there.
So talk about, because now this is pretty far into, because you said this is his last turkey hunt, so He has to be pretty far into his disease. Talk about what sort of side effects he was dealing with at the time, and how challenging it was to go out in the field and to stay active and to be doing this at this point.
Yeah, and that's what it was, because at this point, he was just before being wheelchair bound, where his legs didn't work at all anymore, and he was having a hard time gripping a shotgun. So what we actually had to do was, when I picked him up, we actually had to drive the truck. Usually we'd park it, quite a ways away from where we would set up.
Because you don't want to spook the birds or whatever.
Right, you kick them out of the trees in the morning. And so what happened was, I actually had to risk it and drive almost all the way there. And but it was just something I had to do, and I knew that if we didn't get anything, he still would have appreciated me taking him out. And so once we got there, he actually took an old garden hoe for his cane, and he hoed himself across the field. And he got to this spot and set up, and, well, you'll see the rest on the tape.
All right, let's take a look. We'll see you after the break.
My dad had taken my grandpa the day before, and he called in 4 big toms for him. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to connect. He was feeling pretty down in the dumps, and my dad wasn't able to go the next day because he was having some back problems. So I told him, we'll go in the morning, we'll go blind into a spot, and we'll just see what's there. So he picked me up, we headed over to the spot, not knowing what was in there. And when first light came, there were turkeys coming out of the woodwork. Just move your eyes, Grandpa. wasn't much wind on this morning, and that had a lot to do with the birds only coming and hanging up at about 80 yards. Now, when we did get a little bit of wind and it turned the decoy, only the jakes saw it, so they were on their way. Now, a lot of hunters would wait and try and coax those big boys in, but there was no way I was holding my grandpa back from pulling the trigger on his last bird.
Good job, Grandpa. Hey, good job. Yeah. Did we get him? Did we get him?
There are no words that can express the feeling that I had after this hunt, knowing that it would be my grandfather's last. And that it would be the last time I got to go into the outdoors and see his passion for it.
I couldn't do much else. All I can do is call.
My grandfather was never concerned with how big the buck was, or how big of a tom he got, or how long of a fish he could catch. But he was more worried about having fun and enjoying the outdoors with his family and friends. And no one enjoyed the outdoors and his family more than my grandpa.
You said in it that you knew it was going to be his last hunt. Did you know at the time?
Yeah, you know, you could just tell from the ailment progressing through the years. Like you could see in Ryan's 2 videos how his speech, and then eventually, like Ryan said, his walking just got worse and worse.
Yeah.
And then in this one, like I said, we had to drive almost right to the spot. We were fortunate to get those birds. So it was, I mean, it was just one of those things where you just kind of knew.
One thing that I'd like to point out, just from what I noticed, because obviously I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Jerry Gansey, but that he went out there even in like such deteriorating health, makes me want to say, because you know I told you my dad and my little brother were going to go out for his first turkey I think it was last weekend. It was really cold, so we didn't want to take him out for his first turkey. It was really cold. Well, suck it up. If it's really cold, still get out there, because we got guys going out there and he can barely walk. Like that's unbelievable to me. So that's he sounds like a tough dude, along with being a great outdoorsman and grandpa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I just think his passion for the outdoors is what I remember the most. And as long as you have that, I guess. You can do what you want.
Absolutely. You said this was the last of the turkey hunts. Did he do any other type of hunting?
Yeah.
Because you said he was more of the hunterman. What else did he hunt?
Yeah, he liked to hunt white-tailed deer, grouse. I remember a time we went grouse hunting, and we were walking through the woods, and he shot, and he yelled, "I got one!" And so I went over to see, and here he had shot a stump. And so that's just some of the memories you have of him. And he'd laugh, and we laughed about it. It was a good time. But yeah, he hunted grouse, pheasants. I think Grandma used to call him ringneck.
Ringneck.
Yeah, because he used to go out to South Dakota and out west pheasant hunting quite a bit. So
Do you remember where in South Dakota?
I don't know right offhand.
Okay.
But do you have any more?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, like, just some more funny memories from when his ailment was so bad. So
And
just
you
to
said
lighten
you
it
had
up.
something about Grandma, too.
Yeah, Grandma. I was going to get to that, but just to lighten him, up his disease and all, he, when I got to the point where he couldn't walk to the stands, he had to go in his power wheelchair to get there, he would have my grandma go out and bait his stands for him, or to go check the stands.
Oh, wow.
And if they didn't do it right, when he did get there to hunt, if they didn't do it right, he'd yell at them. And so it was just kind of one of those funny things. And at the time, he couldn't talk, so he kind of just like that, and they know that they did something wrong.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And we also have stories like these and pictures and videos like these. We would love to have our viewers share with us. We have a Facebook page. I think we'll bring it up and show it to you. But Gansky's running the Facebook page, and we would love to have stories, pictures, videos.
Pretty much anything just from the outdoors, your outdoor activities. If you just send them to us, we'd love to just throw it up on our page and show off what you've been doing.
Or maybe bring you.
We want to be interactive with our audience, entertain and inform, and we hope that you guys enjoy everything we've done this year, because we've only got one episode left, I think.
One, maybe two, but that's it for this. That'll be it for this season at EC Outdoors. We'll definitely be back in the fall. We're going to get out fishing a lot. We're going to be bringing you a bunch of footage there. You got anything planned this summer?
Yeah, I do a lot of muskie fishing, just on the water for everything. So smallmouth, fly fishing, so I hope to get some footage that way. And I guess one thing I'd like to say too about the whole show is it's nothing set up. It's just a bunch of guys out in the outdoors just enjoying things. And just for me, looking at the Facebook page, it's really neat to see some of the things that are on there and just relate to other hunters and fishermen and outdoorsmen. So at least I think we have a vision that we want it to be a community of in the Eau Claire area, or I'm from the cities, so that people can talk and share their stories, hunting, fishing, whatever, and it could be a kind of a communal place for all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it doesn't even have to just be the Eau Claire area. Like you said, you're from the cities, and like Hunter Cameron, he does a lot of his stuff down in southern Wisconsin.
My grandpa that we went to see is down in Naples, and he's been bugging me about seeing the show.
So I think the bigger idea is just that we have this group of outdoorsmen who don't claim to be pro hunters, who don't tell you how to do stuff, but just go out and do their things their own way and just show how they enjoy the outdoors.
Absolutely. And let's see, we also have a Twitter page that you guys can follow. We'd give you updates on what we're up to in the hunting and fishing and some other news that's going on.
And if you happen to miss a show, you can either catch it on Facebook or on YouTube.
And with the show, we have a little tribute to the late Gerald Gansky. I put together a little package of some clips from today's show and some pictures of the past. We hope you guys enjoyed watching EC Outdoors. I'm your host, Ryan Laughlin.
I'm Adam Gansky.
And special guest,
Ryan Robart.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, it was a pleasure. We'll have you anytime.
We hope to see you in the outdoors.
You stood on that bank when I got baptized, gave me a 30-30 when I turned 9. At 16 you caught me drinking out in the barn. I could hear you cheering when we won state, and you held my hand at Grandma's grave, and I'll always be thankful you never sold the farm. Grandpa, you stood so tall, you that red man wore overalls. You were the same man on Sunday morning as Saturday night. 5'6" to the top of your hat, but when you talked about the war, thought you were Superman. American born simple man with a southern drawl. You walk the walk, you talk the talk, Grandpa. You still swear Roosevelt was the best, that a